Hi, I'm Simon Greaves. Welcome to my channel. This is a journal about my journey to Mount Everest. Firstly, I apologise for the glasses, but it's a very bright day. I'm here in Singapore on the East Coast. It's a beautiful day, so I thought I'd come down here and take a shot of this. But yeah, it's very bright for my eyes. For those of you who don't know, I suffer from a macular degeneration, so bright lights make my eyes very sensitive. So one of the biggest, well, there's two questions I get asked. One is, why this channel? Why video this? And the second one is, why Mount Everest? So I'll ask the first one first. Basically, when I decided to go climb Mount Everest, obviously I wanted to research a lot of stuff, and I saw lots of professional mountaineers and athletes do all this sort of stuff, and they put these amazing stories out and climbs, and real, professional athletes of mountaineers, which are incredible guys and girls. And but I couldn't find anything that was like a proper training, just snippets, but no real sort of like, how does a regular person get from point A to point Z in a journey through not being a mountaineer to becoming a mountaineer. And so I thought I'd just chart it, and I started throwing out over the last couple of years videos of training and bits and pieces, which were all great, but it was all ad hoc and not in order. So I wanted to do a journal which basically showed that a regular person could go from here and ultimately to the top of Mount Everest. So the biggest question is why. And I must admit, I ask myself that question a lot of times. But why Mount Everest? Well, if in truth, if I'm going to be open, which is what this is all about, is the fact that I had a bit of a dark period a couple of years ago, as most of us do in our lives at some point. I had family losses, I had financial losses, I had relationship losses, I had health losses. Stuff that would happen, major stuff that would happen over a period of maybe 5, 10, 15 years, but this all happened in a couple of years, and I regard myself as a pretty resilient person, but I had to reinvent myself a couple of times, because I started my life in the Air Force, in a flying career, which was ended because I got a condition in my eyesight, and I was told in my early 20s I was going to go blind in the next sort of 5 to 10 years, which was slightly incorrect. Yes, I've got a progressive disease, but not total blindness, so my central vision's missing, so reading, facial recognition, stuff like that is not ideal, and the Royal Air Force doesn't particularly like you flying around in very expensive machines bumping into things. So I had to reinvent myself, and which is fine. I built a very successful, I had an amazing life, I've done some incredible things. I've been very fortunate, although I decided I was going to live that life, because if you're told you're going to go blind, then I try to do a lot of things that I would not be able to do when I was blind. So I saw the world, and I had experiences, and I snowboarded down glaciers, all the stuff I was told I shouldn't be doing. I thought, screw it, I'm going to do it. And that was great, and it served me well to a point. And then this dark period occurred, and I just fell apart. I didn't have the tools to cope with such massive losses in different areas in such a short period of time. I'm nothing special. I know other people go through these things. It hit me pretty hard, and I hit the floor, and I just couldn't get up. And I thought, hey, I'm going to chuck this in, and had a good life, and that'll do. Which was in a way a liberating thought, to be honest, because I thought, well, if I can always do that tomorrow. Today's a free day. But I knew I needed something bigger. I needed a purpose, and I hadn't really gone through life asking what life was about. I was just doing and living and just experiencing, which is pretty much all about me. And then I realized that, I kept asking the question, so what are we here for? What is this all about? Why am I doing all this and working so hard and trying to do these things when it just got me nowhere? And so asking the question is quite an important part. And I didn't have the answer. I'd never wanted to be a mountaineer. Never had that dream, but I knew I needed something big, something that I believed in a way I couldn't do, that would focus me so much that I'd achieve it. And then a strange thing happened. I was trying to find my way, and I was doing all this different stuff, and I went to a Reiki session. I poured my heart out to this Reiki guru, I guess, and she very kindly said, and I was sobbing, and she just said, look, maybe all this stuff's happened for a reason. Maybe you can help other people. And I thought, are you crazy? I can barely get out of bed or dress myself right now. And I just didn't care. I just couldn't get myself straight. But I liked the idea of that. I thought, well, that'd be great, but I just can't see it. And then I think asking the questions, sometimes you throw it out there in the world, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, and people don't ask the question, or if they do, they don't listen to the answer. And it just came to me, hey, it was like a little voice in a hotel saying, with some friends, and just said, you're going to climb Mount Everest. And I told my friends, who started laughing, and yeah, it's crazy, yeah, I know, but I was serious, and I just knew I had to do this, and I had no idea how. I've never climbed a mountain. I had no money, no experience, and no idea what I was doing, but I thought, hey, how hard can it be? How I would come to eat those words. But at the same time I thought, well, look, if an ordinary person like me who's on the floor can get off the floor and reach the highest peak in the world, irrespective of the difficulty of the mountain itself, what a journey that would be to hopefully inspire. Maybe that's my way of being able to say to people, look, you can do these things, you can do extraordinary things. It was actually Sir Edmund Hillary who's got a brilliant quote which basically said, they're not born extraordinary, it's just ordinary people choosing to do extraordinary things. And so choosing to do those extraordinary things, just being a regular person, that could be just being the best parent or the best wife or husband. It could be just, being the greatest at what you do at work. It could be anything like that, which is your own Everest, and, or overcoming some adversity. And I just thought, if my way is to say, look, I'm just a regular guy, I'm nothing special. Yeah, I keep myself in shape, but I'm not that fit. But yeah, I'm 51 years of age in May, which will be summiting Everest this year in 2019. And if I can do this, then, it just shows people that you don't have to have special tools or a special gift. You can just go and do, you act. And very much, people were saying to me, life is like a mountain, even though they've never climbed one, but they're true. You have to just take those baby steps. If you get to camp 1, you acclimatize a little bit, you come back down, you rest, you let your body adjust, you let your mind adjust, you get that experience, you get comfortable, then you take the next step, and then the next step, and you come back. And life is like that. Sometimes you go forward, sometimes you have to come back. And then you just carry on going. But you have this ultimate goal of the summit in sight. But if you keep looking at the summit, it's too far. You just got to take those little steps. And so this, for me, gave me focus. It gave me a reason to get out of bed, and it's opened some amazing doors to meet some brilliant people and have an amazing journey. So I wanted to sort of document and just put it out there and think, hey, you know what? This is how a regular person goes from point A to point Z. Whether you're successful or not, it's a journey, and I've learned so much and grown so much by just doing that journey. And I just felt that if somebody out there could, maybe watch this and think, actually, you know what, I could do something special, and I've always wanted to, go do it. Just if I can just be the catalyst to say, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be famous, you don't have to do all this, addicted to social media, you don't need 1,000 likes, you just got to go do these things and live your life. And if I can, give that push, lovely, fantastic. So that's basically why I'm climbing the mountain. Yes, it's for myself, but it's also to show people that you can do extraordinary things even if you're an ordinary person. And to say, I've done some amazing things. And last year we climbed Manaslu, which was the 8th highest mountain in the world, which was an incredible experience and very hard work, and taught me so much about myself, taught me so much. And not just about the physical side. You can apply this in your work and your business life and your relationships. What you learn about yourself in those situations is incredible. How bonds you strike with people, and just doing these things that put you through in uncomfortable situations, that challenge you, they just change your life fantastically to the positive. I'm never going to be, and I never want to be, the guy that just goes to work, comes home, switches on Netflix, and just grabs a bag of chips and then wakes up the next day, maybe does a workout now and again. To me, that's death. That's boring. But you don't have to be special to go do this stuff. So if I can encourage you to do that, that's fantastic. And last year doing Manaslu was an amazing experience, and I almost stopped, but it wasn't the finished story. So I wanted to finish the story. So I've got literally 1 month before I leave. I'll hang around the mountains for a bit, then we'll go to base camp, and then we'll do the mountain. And how hard can it be? So we'll see. So I just thought, okay, I'm going to put a video out from each week. just, you know, it's not exciting. You know, I mean, a lot of it's actually a very lonely journey. You're spending hours training on your own, walking, running, working out. You meet the guys now and again. You got to work. So it can only be so exciting, but it just shows you how a regular life can become extraordinary if you just go do. So I don't know, I waffle a bit, talked a bit too much, but hopefully if that's interesting, you want to follow, then, you know, subscribe, hit the bell when I put a video up. I'll try and put one up each week just to show what I've been up to. It'll get more interesting, of course, when I leave at the middle of March to go to Nepal and start the actual climbing and the journey out there. But at the moment, I'm just enjoying the sun and doing the training here in Singapore.